Welcome to On the Spot, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great show coming up. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers, a live Facebook interactive show where you, the viewer, has total input on topics of discussion regarding any subject that includes commenting, talking, or debating, not with just your host, but with each other, you, the viewers. You control and run this show. We are just the rudder that steers this big old vessel. This is a show that is wide open with no limits as we bring it to you first. We discuss news, politics, and business, sports, and other things pertinent to our community, including Stark, Lake Butler, Keystone Heights, Waldo, Melrose, Brooker, Middleburg, Lake City, and the whole entire regional area. We also talk about happenings in the great state of Florida and South Georgia as we talk about state news, politics, and sports, and also delve into news and current events going on in our great nation and the world today that affect our everyday lives. Now, let me introduce the show team, the guys that make it all happen, the guys that bring in the move to the groove. First, behind the controls with the video and audio is our senior producer, Mr. Command himself in control, the big dog, our executive producer, Super Dave Daredevil Holland. And joining him behind the scenes, keeping the flow to the show, is our director, Michael the Dragon Slayer Heater. Up next, our advertising and marketing guru, John Better Than Snopes Probst. And our sports production assistant, Roger the Tornado Cruz. And our man with all things weather, Austin Storm Chaser Stevens. And now my co-host for this evening with local news and information, and breaking information, should I say, Mitchell, the American Scout, and your lookout on terrorism and anything else that doesn't belong or looks out of place, Gunter.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And away from us tonight on a well-deserved vacation in Oklahoma is our historian and governmental whiz on national and world politics, Byron, fighting to help keep your freedom and rights Bagwell, who will be back with us this weekend. All right, and I'm your host, Mr. David Rodgers, the voice of the Bradford High Tornadoes.
And the show pony.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from the Emergency Operations Centers here at the Bradford County Sheriff's Office, and we want to thank our host, Sheriff Gordon Smith, and his great emergency management staff for their hospitality as always. Just a reminder about our new format to make sure you, the viewer, get your chance to interact. That's right, folks. We have the all-new ADO, Mitchell. Right. You want to tell everybody what that is?
Audience-driven overtime.
Audience-driven overtime. That's right. Our new format gives everyone equal opportunity in each segment, but when we hit a topic near and dear to your heart, and we want you to address it, we go into ADO, audience-driven overtime. So get your say and get ready. But now, it's time to kick off the show with our prayer, our pledge of allegiance, and a patriotic quote of the week. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please bow your head. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank Him for a wonderful and glorious day, dear Lord. Let us thank You for everything that You do for us each and every day. Thank You for letting us do this show as we bring out the information, dear Lord, in the best way that we can, and that we bring it to our viewers, Your viewers, dear Lord, and that they take it and ascertain it as they wish, dear Lord. Thank You for the food that we receive each and every day, that it goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to Thy service. Keep a hedge of protection as we go throughout the rest of this week, as we got Thanksgiving coming up, dear Lord, this holiday season, and the Black Friday, and also the Cyber Monday, dear Lord, that You keep our shoppers and everybody safe as they're doing their shopping. Any prayer requests, unspoken or spoken, please touch those people as well. We ask for these things in Your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says,
Amen.
Amen. All right, let's stand up for the pledge here. Let's go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. Again, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. Well, I've got the quote of the week right here. And here it is. With our brother Byron being out tonight, we want to give you a quote by our third president, Mr. Thomas Jefferson, which we found out was your grandpa at one time.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's good.
Great grandfather.
That's right. We in America do not have government by the majority. We have government by the majority who participate. Ain't that a great quote, Mitchell, right there? And isn't it the truth? All right. As always, we have our quick and dirty spot, so here we go. Here's your quick and dirty for this Tuesday night, sponsored by Austin's Weather Service in Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook. Send in your zip code and get a detailed local forecast just for you. In an initial report of a hit-and-run incident in Stark, actually was a shooting following an attempted robbery, and Stark police apprehended the suspect. Officials say that the victim was parked on the side of the road waiting to pick up a friend. That's when 21-year-old Chance Sewell approached the victim's car, pulled out a gun, and attempted to rob him. The victim wrestled the gun away from Sewell and then drove away, hitting a pole. The victim was treated at UF Health Shands for injuries to his hand. Sewell was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated battery, and robbery. Putnam County deputies arrested a 14-year-old student after he allegedly wrote a detailed plan to shoot deputies and others at QI Roberts Middle School. A fellow student reported a tip that led to the arrest before anyone was hurt. Wow. Our Bradford County Sheriff's Office continues to have film crews from the A&E Network riding along for episodes of Live PD and Live PD Wanted through December. The rides during the week will be for future episodes of Live PD Wanted. The actual live broadcasts are Friday and Saturday nights from 9 p.m. till midnight and repeated from midnight till 3 a.m. Is that when you watch it, Mitchell? Midnight to 3?
Not midnight to 3.
Are you sure?
But I do watch it, and it's very entertaining.
I hear you. It is very entertaining.
If you haven't tuned in to A&E and watch it, you need to do so.
Yes.
It's very entertaining.
Yes. First Presbyterian Church on Call Street across from the hospital is having a community Thanksgiving dinner for anyone who cares to join us or does not want to eat alone. All public safety personnel who are on duty are also invited. Dinner is Thursday at noon in the Fellowship Hall. Also a reminder that Trinity Episcopal Church in Melrose is holding its annual Thanksgiving in the Park on State Road 26 across from the fire station. All are welcome and there are no requirements of any kind. Crafts, games, a bounce house, free dinner, and more from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Don't forget that Bradford High School will have a special monument dedication this Friday, December the 6th. The dedication is for all fallen heroes who graduated from Bradford High School. The event starts at 10 a.m. at the school, and on the spot we'll be there for the event. Being former military, and you love your military, and everybody here, Dave Holland is former military as well, we will be there for that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great honor to honor those who sacrificed everything for us to have the freedoms that we have, or we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing here tonight.
Not at all.
If it wasn't for those.
Not at all. Finally, here's your Austin's Weather Service quick and dirty forecast for the region. Come on in, Austin, and give us your weather report. Everybody welcome in Austin Storm Chaser Stevens.
Well, I don't have to chase any storms, thanks. But Mr. Brian up there, he's going to get some thunderstorms. He's going to get the brunt of the storm system that's coming across the country with almost up to a foot of snow over in Colorado. But here at home, upper 70s and lower 80s tomorrow. We're going to finish off for Thanksgiving in the mid to upper 70s with a cold front moving through by Monday, dropping us to a possible freeze Monday night.
Ooh. Wow. All right. How about anything upcoming for a little past that? Anything that we need to look out for, Austin, as far as after the holidays and into getting toward Christmas time? Anything?
No, it looks like our weather's going to finally mild out to average. It looks like it's not going to be this roller coaster that we've been having. Believe me, I don't like it either. But we're on Mother Nature's planet. We have to deal with it. But it looks like by Christmas, because I can see in the future with the forecast models and everything, it looks like Christmas is going to be about average.
All right. Thank you, Austin, for that report. And that is your quick and dirty weather report for this Tuesday night, brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. From the cooling weather to a flash forecast, find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook. Now, we can't do this show without our fantastic sponsors. Just like Tornado Football can't happen, we can't happen. So here's our fantastic sponsors. Miracle Automotive and Recovery in Stark and McClinney. Williams Jewelry of Stark. Harry Business Salon. Dave Holland, owner there. Right. On the Spot Lawn Maintenance. David Rodgers, owner on there. How about that, huh? Brittany Leanne Creations and Melrose Photography and Graphic Design. Who, I know somebody that's kin to her. I do, don't you?
The gentleman to your left.
Yeah, Service First Mobile Small Engine Repair in McRae as well. So thank our great sponsors for that. We did the research, and tonight we absolutely know who Mitchell's great-great-great-great-grandfather is. Yep, it is. I found it.
Moses?
No, close. Close. Can you part the sea?
No, okay.
Actually, it's Thomas Edison.
There you go.
Okay.
You'll take that?
That's fine.
All right.
Take it.
I don't know. It's going to be Saturday though. It may be something.
Might be Henry Ford.
It may be Mr. Harley Davidson himself. We'll find out. All right. Anyway, there we go. All right. So we're getting ready to kick off the show again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I have seen a couple of things on some of our comments. One of the ladies just asked really quick if we could where that dedication for that monument is going to be at the high school. Can you explain? And I know you was going to get into that into your local segment as we're doing that.
We can just go ahead and do it right now.
Sure.
The monument is going to sit near the auditorium out toward Washington Street. So if you're driving on Washington Street, you can look over to the right or your left and see it in the little cove there next to the stairs going up to the auditorium. Right. The sidewalk's already been poured, and so has the pad. So if you want to drive by there and take a look at it, and you can see that sidewalk and that pad, right, and that is definitely where it's going. Sometime next week, they will be bringing the monument. We're going to go ahead and set it down, and we're going to cover it. We don't want no one to see it until the day of the dedication, so it's going to have a blanket wrapped around it, right, until the dedication on the 6th. And I tell you, we're happy. It's taken a long time to get it.
You're right.
A lot of logistics being worked out, but I'm glad it's finally here. So, like I said, we can honor those men and women
right,
who have lost their life. I don't know if there's any women on there, but if there was, we want to honor them anyway.
Absolutely.
So I just can't wait.
Good. Before you get into your local, I just want to hit a few people that are on. Austin Stevens, thank you for joining us. Bobby Rayburn, Bart Norton, Donald Stevens, Dwight Allen. I hope you're feeling better, Dwight. I don't know if y'all knew Dwight had a gallbladder surgery, so he's recovering very nicely. He said thank you for all the prayers. Dwight wants to know what's wrong with these idiot criminals nowadays. We're going to get into that here a little bit. Linda Wilshire Clance, thank you for joining us. Ralph Thornton, Lucy Davis is joining us. Lisa Riley's joining us. She's one of my old classmates from high school back from Pascagoula, Mississippi. Again, thank you for joining us as well. So here we go. Now we'll get into the local now. Right. So as we got a few viewers on,
just a reminder. I know we talked about it several times on here. That dedication's on the 6th, but on the 7th, Southside Elementary will be having their winter festival, and also there will be Stark Elementary Santa Claus is going to be there, so you can have breakfast with Santa Claus. On the 13th, 14th, and 15th is the Christmas on Call Street Festival. It will start off on Friday night with carriage rides. Tickets have to be purchased ahead of time. On Saturday, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. We've got a pageant. We're going to have a car show. We're going to have vendors. And of course, the parade's going to be at 6 o'clock. The car show's from 2 to 5. I believe the pageant starts at 4 o'clock p.m. So there's a lot of activities going on, and then they carry on over into Sunday, where you can make reservations at the Downtown Grill to have breakfast with Santa. They're going to have an ugly sweater competition and other activities. So a lot of things are happening.
The cool part about the parade is that On the Spot will be broadcasting live from the corner of Thompson Street and Call Street. So you'll be able to literally call the parade that evening right from the downtown area. Looking forward to that.
And you know what's so special about that? Because we do have people that cannot make it out due to health issues and stuff. And this gives them the opportunity to see the parade, even though they can't go down there. So it's a wonderful thing that we're able to do that for our citizens. And even for people far away, they can chime in and watch a parade. And I tell you what, when they started having the parade at night, I thought it was the best thing ever. Seeing everything all decorated up. Of course, I will probably be in there with my car. Y'all probably figured that out already. So I just can't wait. And I've already ordered new lights to go up underneath it, and they should be here by Friday.
You know, a lot of people were not a proponent of that parade going to nights at one time. But I tell you, it just makes it more festive, don't it? All those lights shining up and all these guys, like you said, with all these different vehicles and the floats and everything going on. It just makes it more festive. I really like it at nighttime, too.
I do,
and
too.
I think everybody else does now. I mean, how many years now?
Oh, I couldn't even begin to tell you. But
For
I think
nights?
For nights, it's been a number of years. What I like about it, though, is that for the first time that the parade's going to culminate the entire day-long festival, which I think is really good. It's going to do a lot of help for the downtown businesses. It's going to do so much for the community. I'm really excited about it. Looking forward to it.
Right. So.
Yeah, I think it's great for everyone. And I want to thank the downtown merchants for asking me to be part of it, to help them out with the car show portion. And it gives our young kids something to do. Mm-hmm. It keeps them very active. So hands go to them, you know.
Yeah, kudos to them.
It's a lot of hard work, and a lot of people don't understand how much hard work and dedication goes into these events. So I want to thank all of them.
Good.
On some other notes.
Yep.
This is going to be dealing with the Bradford County Sheriff's Office. All right. A North Florida theft ring busted for racketeering. In July of 2009, the Bradford County Sheriff's Office Patrol Division developed leads on several stolen dirt bikes from the area of High Springs, Florida, after recovering some of them in Bradford County. So they have been investigating this for a while.
Right.
So, and actually, they have arrested 3 of them, and one guy is still at large. And I'm going to get into his name. His name is Dennis Jackson III.
Really?
He's still at large. The other people that were arrested, the other 3 guys, let me find it, sorry, is Troy Harris, Demetrius Martin, and Jamanian McNeil have been arrested. So I want to give tell a big thanks to our Sheriff's Department for recovering some of this stuff and getting these guys off the street. You know, and this is the time of year that you're going to see more and more of this stuff happening. So if you see something that's out of place and that is not right, pick up your telephone, dial 904-966-6161, talk to the sheriff's office and tell them, hey, something's not right. I don't care if it comes down to seeing someone strange in your neighborhood that you've never seen before that's walking around and they look like they're looking in people's yards. Call. Report it. Because you never know what they're up to.
Right.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about this is that one of the ringleaders on this was Troy Harris. Troy Harris has been charged with 95 counts that include burglary, theft, dealing stolen property, and racketeering. His bond alone is $1.6 million. Okay, now you get into Demetrius Martin, 14 charges, including burglary, theft. His bond, $950,000. The third arrest was Jamarian McNeil. He only had 4 charges, but his bond is $400,000. Right. These are people that live in the community. These are people that interact with us on a regular basis. Right. The fourth suspect, Dennis Jackson III, he is still outstanding. He still has a warrant out. His bond is $350,000. if you're on Facebook watching us at the end of the show, go to the Bradford County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Look at the mugshots that are out there. Keep an eye out for this guy. And if you see something, say something. Give us a call. Right. Again, like I said, 904-966-6161.
And do not try to apprehend them yourself.
Right.
Do not do that. We don't want anyone getting hurt. So like Mr. Heater said, please give a phone call. And I'm going to tell you, the Sheriff's Department will be out there in a flash.
All right, what else you got for us there?
Well, I want to let everybody know they had a county commissioner meeting last Thursday, and they went over the Fire Station 10, and you can actually find out probably most of the results to that in your Bradford County Telegraph. So go pick one up, read all about it. But I'll tell you, we got some great things happening.
Right.
I know the sheriff is out trying to get some grants to redo Theresa's area for living quarters and stuff like that, so we can move EMS out of a rented space back into that firehouse, and frees up some money.
Right.
And it will help in other areas.
Good.
So a lot of that's going on. I know he's constantly working on Fire Station 10. Him, Mr. Bennett, and Captain Conkale. So,
and we're excited. The Theresa project has actually started to blossom in the last few days, believe it or not.
Right.
But what's exciting about it is that we're actually we kind of made it over the hump there a little bit. You know, we had dropped off so poorly that the focus and the thrust was on getting trucks rolling, getting our paid people in position, and now we've done it. Well, on Thursday, December 12th at 6 p.m., right here in the Emergency Operations Center, we are recruiting and asking and looking for all prior and current certified volunteer firefighters to come for a meeting.
Right.
Because we've set up a plan to start staffing the Theresa Fire Station with volunteers to assist on a first alarm assignment.
Right.
Then we had a report of an industrial fire today. We paged out the city of Stark. We had Lottie come in, had Sampson City, and lo and behold, volunteers from Theresa on the first alarm assignment.
Wow.
That's what we're building towards. We are expanding our volunteer base to assist the paid guys, and there's a lot of excitement coming down on that.
And I'm telling you, the calls are being picked up, and they're jumping right on it and taking care of all these issues. Now I'm going to get into traffic a little bit. This is kind of a little bit of a downer. I want to let everybody know that we've had our 12th accident for the year at State Road 100 and 144th Street. I know DOT is still working on that issue. I'm waiting to get some feedback from them and make sure that a traffic signal is probably going to be valid for that area. But I want everyone to know they got to be patient, because if it is, that's going to go on the back of their projects, and they've got to take the work orders that they already have in front of them first. So, but eventually we'll get there. But the number one thing is, if you're at the gas station there at 144th and 100, please, if you're going to travel down 144th, do not cut across 100 out of the gas station. Please go to the stop to the stop sign and go across, because I'm telling you, that is a dangerous situation waiting to happen. And who says some of these accidents that we've had there is because of that reason? I mean, we just got to use common knowledge and be smart and use what we've learned over the years as drivers. Now, the other place is Southwest 225 and State Road 16. They have had their 9th crash on the year. So, and that's a very congested area, especially when the prisons, people going to work to the prison and people letting out from the prison. And I have been told that they are going to do a survey in that area for a traffic signal. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And then the other thing that's also been an issue for quite a while is State Road 121B. Well, there's some projects coming up which are going to be putting a new road into the Keystone Airport. Well, FDOT is going to come in. They're going to do a survey from County Road 18 all the way to 21B. and they're going to see about addressing some of these issues, because also on that stretch of road, they're going to have to widen the road. There's going to have to be a turning lane for the new access road to the airport. So again, please be patient. I believe good things are coming. And if you got any questions, contact FDOT.
Yeah.
And ask them about
It's your
it.
right to do that.
But they are going to do that survey, and I think you will start seeing some action being taken place. I know me and Tom Germano today, we met with Mr. Dodds, and we talked about the dump there at 21B.
Right.
About another way of fixing a problem there that wouldn't be very expensive. And because right now you got people turning in and they're cutting other people trying to get out at the same time. So our suggestion was to put arrows in. You turn in the backside, go behind the bins, come up the ramp, dump your trash, and then you go out, and that puts you on the right side where you're supposed to be. Yep. So he liked the idea. He's going to talk to some other individuals and bring it up to the county commissioners and to get approval. But I think it's the best way to go. And like he said, instead of putting cones out there, they're going to put the pole reflectors that you see like mostly at your medians on the road to kind of separate both sides. Because that right there causes a dangerous situation in itself when you got vehicles that are almost on a head-on collision and someone's halfway out on 100. Not a good thing. So I want to thank Mr. Dodds today for taking the time for me and Tom Germano to go over those issues. And we appreciate him. He's been doing a lot of work here lately. Right. They're trying to clean out all these ditches and get everything caught up the way they're supposed to be.
You know, Mitchell, you're talking about State Road 100. And, Mr. Heater gets up here early in the mornings, and so do I. And if anybody doesn't know, which I'm sure everybody knows now, that I go work in Lake City. I live in Lottie, and I take a lot of those back roads, but my main road is 100. That's from there to, once we get into Lake Butler, it's got to take me to Lake City. So, I travel that road each and every day. I've already hit 3 or 4 deer, with my vehicles, since I've been working there for 4 years. I've seen many of stuff, man, that I'm like, oh my God, am I dreaming this? You know what I mean? Semis passing, 3 or 4 cars. Let me tell you what happened this morning. I didn't even tell y'all guys this morning. You know, the bridge that is right before you get into Columbia County, you know, that one bridge that dips down and comes up? Well, guess who was coming up over that hill trying to pass 2 cars? Tractor trailer. Passed him on that bridge. I pulled over. I just pulled slap over. And I'm looking at him like, oh my gosh, man. I blinked my brights at him, and I'm like, what are you doing? You just passed 2 cars. And I'm sure those people in those cars were going, God, really? Did that just happen?
In a no passing zone.
So not only you watching out for the deer and anything else that can come out there, you're watching for these, I'm going to call them idiots. Idiots that are driving, thinking that they're Mario Andretti on this 2-lane road at 4 or 4:30 in the morning. It's just flat out ridiculous. And I'm hoping that we start putting more people, sheriffs, and law enforcement out there. I want to start seeing some tickets rode up in that place. Right. I know I drive that. I know it's 60 miles an hour on that road. I've hit it 65, 66, 67, even up to 70. I'll be the first one to admit that I've done it. But I'm going to tell you what. If it takes me getting a ticket for everybody else to get one and make sure everybody slows down, well, that just has to be. Right. But we need to figure out how we got to figure out a way to slow and stop stupid stuff from happening on that road.
And one thing I wanted to say, knock on wood, since those no passing zones has been put down, we have not had any accidents except for a deer versus a vehicle in that area. So we're very thankful. I mean, we can try to put all these safety precautions in, but it's up to the individual driver to obey the traffic laws.
Right.
You know, and speaking of traffic laws, I had a lady talk to me the other day and says, hey, can y'all mention something on the spot? We got all these young men driving around with these jacked up trucks, and they're running their light bars, their LED light bars on the highway, and they will totally blind you. So I wanted to get that out there. They are illegal to run on the highway. They are for off-road use. And I'm telling you, you might not think that you're blinding the other person headed towards you, but they cannot see you with them light bars on. And I'll tell you, there's probably going to start being some tickets wrote for them.
Oh, I'm sure there
because,
is.
Because there's no use to it. I actually pulled into a gas station a while back. Been about a year. He was a young kid. Had his light bar on. And I couldn't see where to pull in at the gas station. So I had to stop in the road, let him go by, pull in the gas station, and I pulled in next to him. And I told him, I says, hey, you like your light bar on your truck? Oh, yeah, I like it. I was like, I'd like you to turn it off while you're going down the highway because it might end up getting broke. I said, people cannot see where they're going with those light bars. So please, gentlemen and ladies, if you're running those light bars at night, don't. Leave them off.
Yep.
If you're driving down a dirt road and there's nobody coming down a dirt road, turn them on. But on the highway, no. Let's turn them things off.
I agree. So.
And you know, some of those old folks that even the regular lights are really bright and starry, and when you get hit by a light like that, you're absolutely right. You're blinded. Right.
Yeah, the new lights that the vehicles do have in them today, they are way brighter because of technology. But they're still not as bright as those LED bars. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, those things are bright, man. Like I said, if you look dead on them, man, it could blind you for a few seconds. That's for sure.
There was a truck there on University, and this was during the late morning. And I'm telling you, it was still pretty bright, even with daylight. You know, so please think about others. That's the thing that I can tell you. Just think about others.
David Adams, I promise you I will get into that as the third segment of our show is dealing with sports. I'm going to get into that whole topic and delve right into it. But yes, I did see that new poll. Thank you for giving us that new poll. Mr. Dave Holland is going to be happy about who the number one ranked team in the country is. But we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. I do have one little thing here if you've got anything else.
Is it Oregon? Or it does start with the O, right?
Yeah, but it's not Oregon because we know they took a delve the other night over at Arizona State. Yeah. You have anything else on the horizon there?
No. I just want to tell everybody, again, at the end of the show, we'll say it again, but I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and take the time and spend with your families.
Exactly right. I've got one more thing. My compadres don't even know this yet. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not just because we'll have to check out the logistics. But next Tuesday night, the Ark of Bradford County presents their third annual Christmas fundraiser to be held at the Women's Club of Stark. That's on 201 North Walnut Street, Stark, Florida, on Tuesday, December the 3rd, 2019. 6 p.m. is the social hour. 6:30 p.m. is dinner. 7:15 is a cake auction. And 7:45 is the entertainment. Do you know who the entertainment's going to be?
This guy.
Again, emceeing and providing the music. I'm hoping that we can do the show. Mr. Mitchell Gunner, Mr. Byron Bagwell will be here. Mr. Michael Heater can fill in for me as well. So the logistics of that place the other day just didn't work out, did it, gentlemen? But maybe we can tweak it and get it to work. So I think we can modify to make that work. I'd love for her on the spot to be there. She already said we could. Tickets are $160 per table, 8 seats per table, or $20 each. Tickets are available at the Ark of Bradford County, 1351 South Water Street, Stark, Florida, 32091, and 904-964-7699 is your phone number to do that.
Yeah, and I want to mention one other thing. You just reminded me. If you want to help out with Shop with a Cop, please get with Barry Warren. Mm-hmm. You can actually find him right there at the police station, or you can find him through Facebook. And I believe all the money has to be in by the end of next week. to help out with those young men and women. Christmas shop there at Walmart. And like I said once before, it is a wonderful, wonderful thing that Barry Warren has brought to Bradford County for those for those kids. And like I said, I've had a chance to do it 1 year, and just to be with those kids, and they care more about their siblings and their mothers than they do about themselves.
Right, they do.
Know, instead of being greedy, they're very generous.
They are.
So great thing, and appreciate you, Barry, for doing it for as long as you've been doing it. I hope it continues on for years and years and years.
And Barry will make sure that happens for sure. Yeah. Even if he gets out of it, he's going to put somebody in charge like Michael Heater here to go ahead and head that up. Not like he don't have anything else on his plate, but we'll just let Michael Heater run. He's over there rubbing his head. Okay, David, you just put me out there again, didn't you? Yeah. Thank you, right?
He doesn't need any sleep.
No. When do you get sleep?
You can get rest when you die.
Yeah, there you go. I know you wanted to hit one more thing, and I know you didn't hit it. Southside Elementary?
Yes, I did.
Just a little bit.
I hit it.
Okay, did you hit it? Yeah, that must have been when I was looking at Ohio State. I let that slip out of the bag, didn't I? Yeah, but I didn't say what they did, though.
Right.
I didn't say what they did. Okay. All right, we're going to segue. Anybody else got any local news or anything? Anything that you want to get into? Let's get into our national and world news. Mr. Byron Bagwell couldn't be here, so we're going to fill in for him. I know he's on right now. By the way, nice buck that you got there, Mr. Bagwell. I know there's plenty of deer meat coming for all of us guys as soon as you get home. So
I'll take the back strap.
You took claim on that real quick, didn't you? Yes, you did. Here's our national and world news update brought to you by tonight. Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza. You give us $8 and we give you a great look. Harry Business open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Sundays, noon till 4.
Hey, you know what about Harry Business? You know where I seen his sign?
Live PD.
On Live PD.
Live PD. Yeah. How about that, huh? But I promise you, Mr. Dave Holland was already at home because we were talking on the phone, by the way. So I know Dave was at the house. So Dave wasn't in trouble. It just happened to be where this person got pulled over in front of his sign. So Dave is not in trouble. A Florida man faces federal charges after allegedly trying to contact ISIS. Wow, of all people, right? To recruit someone to carry out a terroristic attack on the deans of 2 Miami area colleges after he was expelled by one and suspended by another, officials said in a press release yesterday. Isn't that crazy? Solomon Rashid, 23 of North Miami Beach, was arrested Friday and charged with soliciting another person to commit a crime of violence. An FBI investigation revealed that Rashid asked an undercover FBI agent posing as a member of ISIS. How about that, huh? To bomb 2 unnamed deans at Miami-Dade College and Broward College, where he experienced perceived attacks on Muslims, according to prosecutors.
I tell you what.
How about that, huh? Got him undercover, didn't he?
The deans ain't got a problem. That gentleman's got a major one.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
If you get expelled from one and suspended from the other, you got a problem.
Yes, you do. And I'll tell you what, he hit the right guy up, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did. Let's hope a bunch of others hit that same guy up.
Hit that same guy up. You got that right. How about in Michigan? Michigan Democratic Representative Brenda Lawrence, who has previously supported the impeachment inquiry into President Trump, abruptly announced Sunday that she no longer saw any value in the process and called for her fellow Democrats to throw their support behind a symbolic censure resolution. Lawrence's about-face came as polls have shown that independents are turning on the idea of impeaching and removing Trump from office.
Well, you know, all along I knew this wasn't going to happen in the first place, and this right here is a starting nail in the coffin to end it all. I mean, but, you know, look at all the money they have wasted that could be going to other stuff that is needed on trying to impeach a president that has actually got a great approval rate. And I want to say his approval rate along Republicans is 80-something percent. 84%, and that's higher than President Reagan's. So, I mean, the man is doing a great job. In my opinion, I know others may not think so, but I think he's doing a great job. Our unemployment is the lowest ever in every ethnic background that you look at. It is the lowest. And I'm telling you, I'm happy. I'm working.
You're working, ain't you?
I'm being able to supply for my family.
Can you supply a Thanksgiving dinner to this year?
Only for myself.
I thought you were inviting me.
I'll save you a wing.
Oh, boy. Then I get the backstrap.
He can have the wing after all the meat's off of it.
How about? Well, that's very nice. How about I get the backstrap and you get Zilcho out of that deal?
No, I get the backstrap. You get the hoofs.
Yeah, you get a new brush fire has broken out in California, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, and in 24 hours have burned almost 5,000 acres. Mandatory evacuations are in place for the mountains above Santa Barbara and the Los Padres National Forest. Good grief. In international news, at least 21 people have been killed. Dozens and dozens more are missing, and over 600, probably plus now, have been injured after an earthquake struck Albania 24 hours ago. That's a dadgum shame.
Very sad situation.
Yes, it is. How about the magnitude of this thing? The magnitude, 6.4 earthquake hit near the coast of Albania, which is between Italy and Greece, if you didn't know. And that's exactly right. Been there. It's a nice place. Been there. People are very friendly. The death toll is expected to rise as search crews work in collapsed buildings. And if you've seen any of the news, it's a real mess over there.
I mean, their infrastructure is not like ours here in the States. A lot of their stuff is old, and, they don't have the codes like we have here in the United States.
Right.
And it's just a shame, and all we can do is pray for them.
Pray for them.
Yeah.
Michael, tell me if I'm wrong here. Has the United States sent some help over there already? Haven't we sent some people over there to help out with this thing? Do we move crews over that way? Or
we are deploying search and rescue crews. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Task Force 1 through FEMA has been activated. They have not yet departed. They should be leaving tomorrow. There are 7 search and rescue teams from around Europe. That includes Denmark, the United Kingdom. France sent a team over. A team from Switzerland is already on site. They arrived within 12 hours of the initial quake. The United States crews are going in to relieve the European crews that are currently underdoing search and rescue.
So there you go. The United States always pitching in, trying to make this world really a better place to live. And unfortunately, that's Mother Nature right there. I hate to say it. At her best when something like this happens, because you never know when something like that happens. You're talking about the hurricanes, and Austin will tell you about that, the tornadoes, and everything that Mother Nature brings. You know what I mean? Earthquake is just one of those things, and unfortunately, when an earthquake happens, it's usually pretty bad, especially one of that magnitude.
Well, and earthquakes can happen anywhere. We've had one off the coast of Florida.
Yes, we have.
Years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's not just tied to the West Coast.
No.
I mean, it's more toward the West Coast. They have more because of the faults.
Right.
Fault line. But it can happen almost anywhere. I think they've had them up in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And so... we might need their help one day.
We may need that, and that's exactly right. So, on other news, the United Kingdom Space Agency in London announces plans for a space plane. How about that, Mitchell? Capable of carrying passengers from New York to London in 1 hour. Wow. And it could be in the skies by the 2030s. How about that? I may still be alive for that, Mitchell, maybe.
I wonder if they're going to see, once they take off and they get up there, if they're going to see old Spock.
Spock?
Yeah.
What in the... At the UK space... At the UK, yeah. Tell them what that means if you're going to do it now.
Live long and prosper.
Right. At the UK Space Conference in Wales earlier today, CEO of UK Space Agency, Graham Turnock, spoke about a plane capable of flying at 5 times the speed of sound. That would allow passengers to travel from the UK, Dave, to Australia in as little as 4 hours. Right now, it takes over 26. Man, oh man, that's a quick flight. And finally, Millions of Thanksgiving travelers in the U.S. will get slammed this week by several storms from California to Michigan. More than 20 million people are under winter weather advisories, watches, or warnings. And we are still 26 days from the official start of winter, Mitchell.
That's right.
It's already starting early up there for sure. With that, we want to share some safety information as you get ready for Turkey Day 2019. Speaking of turkeys, I'm sitting beside one. So here is the official on-the-spot top 10 safety tip brought to you by the Bradford County Sheriff's Office and Fire and Rescue.
I got one for you.
Uh-huh.
Want me to do a turkey?
Yeah, do a turkey. Oh, boy. Man, I think we may have found your calling, Mitchell. Yeah, you ain't kidding. My goodness. If traveling, keep an eye on your personal belongings at all times and use good judgment when talking to strangers. Ensure your vehicle is properly maintained. If maintenance is not up to date, have your car and tires inspected before you take a long drive. Keep anything of value in the trunk or covered storage area. If you're traveling with children, remind them not to talk to strangers. Go with them on bathroom breaks and give them whistles to be used only if the family gets separated. Try to give the impression that you're home even if you're away. Keep a couple little lights on, you know what I mean? Make sure, hey, you know what you also can do, right? Even if you don't have one, stick an ADT sign out there and say you got home security. Yeah, right. Don't deter them, man. I tell you, yeah. If somebody sees ADT out there, they're going to go, oh, my goodness. So, yeah, they ain't going to come around.
Have a little motion detector that dog bark.
Yeah. Keep someone in the kitchen at all times when cooking. How about that, Mitchell? Do you do that?
Usually I'm in the kitchen with the wife.
Are you?
It's not
all right.
hard for Mitch
So
to
that's...
do.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up the food when she takes it out of the pan.
Yeah, you know,
give me a little snack before we.
She tells me she takes that fly swatter and swaps your hand with it.
Or she takes another pan.
Oh, maybe at the back of the head. Be sure to keep a fire extinguisher in the kitchen in case of emergency, and teach your family how to use it. About keep candles to a minimum. We all like candles. I love a good smelling candle, don't you, Mitchell? I tell you, man, but make sure you keep it to a minimum.
Better believe it.
Yep. Make sure all smoke detectors are working. You've alluded to that many a times over the summer and during daylight savings time and all that. You've alluded to that, so make sure your smoke detectors are working. Never wear loose-fitting clothing when cooking. Long open sleeves could ignite and catch fire from a gas flame or a hot burner. Wear short, close-fitting or tightly rolled sleeves when cooking. There you go. One thing I
want to mention while we were talking about cooking.
Yes.
I know a lot of people, they like to fry their turkeys.
Yes, they do.
And I'm going to tell you, you need to be very careful while frying turkeys. You need to lower the turkey slowly into the pot. Do not throw it in there. It will not turn out very well for you.
Surprisingly, the lowering the turkey isn't the major cause of the problems that we encounter. It's the fact that people do not dry the turkey off prior to
right. That's right.
They put it in there wet.
It turns to steam. That's what causes the oil to spill and ignite. And that's you've got to make sure the turkey is completely dry before putting it in the oil.
So
dry your bird before you throw him in.
Anybody else on some world news, national news? Anybody got anything? Dave, you got anything? Michael?
No, just we'll continue to do updates. For those of you that have liked it, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback on the early Quick and Dirty.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get that where we're doing that on a daily basis. Any updates that come down, local or
national,
major national impact, that stuff, we'll make sure we have that for you. So your little morning Q&D with your coffee.
I am so sorry, but I left out a very important thing that I should have put in our local news.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a chance right here before we go to the sports section to go ahead and do that.
Well, a lot of people know Ted Yoho.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the city of Stark is getting was it $6 million?
Yes, 8.7.
8.7. Yeah, okay. 8.7.
$8.7 million grant to improve infrastructure toward our wastewater. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this money hopefully will be used, I think, for the new plant they're talking about putting out there near the fairgrounds.
Right.
to help better with the bypass area, so we can actually bring in businesses, and we will have the ability to support those businesses by improving the infrastructure.
That's awesome, right
So
there.
it's a really good thing. I know the city council members, I know they're tickled to death about it.
Good deal.
So I
Good.
just wanted to bring that up.
Ted Yoho on the case, isn't he?
That's it.
You know, so Ted Yoho, if y'all don't know who he is, he's our representative here in this area right here, and is doing a wonderful job, what I keep hearing. He really loves Bradford County. He loves his area that he is a representative for, and he's doing some outstanding things. So thank you, Ted, for helping us
Definitely.
allocate that, and I'm sure it's going to go to a good use. And like you said, starting with the wastewater, did you say, treatment? So there you go. All right. We'll keep you updated on national news as well. This was just some of the topics that were near and dear to our heart and things that are going on that are real prevalent in our world today. Everybody knows the deal that's going on with President Trump. I don't need to get into that tonight. I will let you decipher that as you watch your local news and your world news, whether CNN, Fox, whoever you get your news from, MSNBC. I will let you delve into that. But now, it's everybody's favorite topic, and we're going to delve into some sports right here. And I know everybody here was looking at me and going, man, when is the sports coming? But before we do that, I want to say hello to Kim Lee, David Holland Jr. He told me to tell you hello, Dad. David Adams is on. Noah Gibson called me and you a turkey, by the way, 2 turkeys. Nicole Gunter is on. She says, it's ring now. Do you know what that means?
It's what?
It's ring now. I guess ring time from Williams Jewelry.
Oh.
How about that? She said you don't like candles.
Some of them I can stand, some of them I cannot. Sometimes they'll aggravate my allergies.
Donald Stevens, man, oh man, oh man, I was going to say this too. And don't use a propane turkey fryer indoors.
Yes.
Oh, I meant to say that too when you were saying that. I seen somebody on the Jacksonville News that did that. I seen it on the news this morning that somebody tried to do that.
Yeah, not good.
Not good.
And it was shared on the Bradford County Sheriff's Office page as what not to do because they'd set up a fire in the kitchen.
Right.
Seriously. I mean, I'm all for job security, but
You'd have job security.
I got enough on my plate, no pun intended.
Right.
Don't need silly stuff like that.
Yeah, and they don't need their turkey well done either.
No. Michael Heater, if you could do me a favor before I get into this, could you look up the playoff bracket for me?
Yeah.
Class 8A to 1A. There's 16 teams, 32 teams left in the whole thing. And they'll be playing this Friday night, and I'll get into that here in just a minute as soon as Mr. Heater pulls that up. But before we start our sports deal, I want to give you all just a question out there for guys that are still on, and thank you for staying in and tuning in for our show. We love doing this. We're hoping the information gets out to you. If there's anything that you want to talk about, please hit our webpage. Right. Please hit our email, or you can comment right here. Just tell us what you want. Our Mr. Heater and Mr. Holland will write it down, whatever it is, topic that you want to discuss. And if we can't get to it tonight, guys, we can get to it on a future show, and that's for sure. Right. But we'll make sure that we get to you. You, the guys that drive this, we're just bringing up topics that we know about and that we've researched. So if you've got something that's near and dear to your heart, please make sure you comment on our show. Like I said, there's several places to go, Dave, right? The email. You can go to the email. You can go to On the Spot. You can message any of us or whatever you need to do that. So we just appreciate you tuning in. But start the sports off. I'm going to poll this question to you, and I hope that we get some takers here, Mitchell. I'm going to ask you, and I know you got it up right there. Who do you think is the best one-loss team in the country? Don't answer that yet.
Okay.
Don't answer that yet. Mike, I'll give that to you. Dave, I'll give that to you as well. The best one-loss team in the country. All right. Now, in saying that, we do have the newest poll out, but I'm not getting to that yet because I want to talk about my beloved Tornadoes. Yeah. And I wrote up a little something here, gentlemen, if you don't mind me reading here about our Tornadoes and what I thought about our young men this season. And it goes like this. Unfortunately, the Bradford Tornado 29-19 football season came to an end last Friday night as the 6-seeded Tornadoes looked to pull the upset on the 11-time state champion and the number 1 seed in Class 4A Region 1, the Bowles Bulldogs, as the game was played at the Bowles School Field as they had home field advantage throughout, and the Tornadoes put up a great battle and fight and played a really good game, but came up just a bit short as the Bulldogs were able to outscore the Tornadoes with a final score of 16-6. Bowles was able to take advantage of a high kickoff on the very first play of the game, and our kickoff team was not able to get on the ball, and the Bulldogs had excellent position at the Tornado 43-yard line. And 3 plays later, they scored on a 42-yard pass play, which was actually blown coverage. The defensive back actually came over and made it closer than what it looked. But they scored on a 42-yard pass play, and just like that, it was 7-0. But the Tornadoes after that played the bend but don't break defense, as the Bulldogs kept driving down the field on us all night. And they could only muster, Mitchell, against that stingy defense was 3 more field goals. That is it. That's all they could muster on our defense. The lone score for the Tornadoes was a thing of beauty. Dave, you were there. Michael was there. As number 4, one of my favorite players, Mr. Nadro Davis, the Class 4A first-team free safety and all-purpose player, stepped in front of the Bowles quarterback errant pass and returned it 95 yards for the TD to cut the score to 7-6. But poor fella, he was so tired, he missed the extra point because he had to kick his own extra point. So it was 7-6. We had several opportunities to score after that, but could not, and that is the way the game ended. Now Bowles will host a great Cocoa Tigers team that beat South Sumter this past week in the state semifinal game to see who will go on to play the South winner in Class 4A. And I guess you got that pulled up for me, right? Yeah, and I'll go over that here in just a second, Mike, if you can get that up for me. And that winner will go on to play in the state title game in Daytona Beach on December the 11th. Great season for the Tornadoes, which finished the season with a 6-6 record after starting the season 1-4. Great job by the players, Coach Brian Tomlinson, and the rest of the coaching staff to keep this team together and make a nice run in the state playoffs. Thank you to all of our seniors from our hearts for your contribution to this program, and we look forward to Tornado Football 2020. It should be another great season. Mitchell, I'm going to start with you. I know you listen to it on the radio. I'm going to tell you this first before you say anything. I don't care what anybody says. Bradford Tornadoes were the better team that night, and I think they still are. I have take it from that.
I have to agree. There was a lot of calls that wasn't being called, especially on one pass where the guy was clearly out of the field of play.
Yep.
And they gave him the completion, which was totally crazy.
Yep.
So to me, Bowles didn't win the game for Bowles. The refs won the game for Bowles. And I hate to be critical toward officiating, but that's what I believe what happened is we just didn't get the calls that we should have gotten.
Right.
You know, because that right there, him catching the ball out of bounds, I mean, there's... And he was what, right there, wasn't he?
He was right there.
He was right there.
He was right there looking at that, yes.
Yeah. So I think they've done a great job. They stared at adversity, being down 1-4, and was able to come back and get to 500.
Yes, they were.
Played some really, really good schools, but kept them very, very low on scoring when we did lose.
Right.
And I don't know where the Pierce County Bears ended up.
They're still they're one game away from the state championship.
So
they're in the regional final or state final.
And that was one of those games that we dug in and we fought. They fought hard in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
And we only lost 10-0 in that game, and all those points came right there at the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll say we had a great team.
Yep, and I'm gonna tell you right now, fellas, if any of y'all are watching, I want to say that don't hang your head. It
No,
was a
not at
great
all.
season. You finished one of the top 8 teams in Class 4A in the state, and there's about 70 or 80 teams. So you finished in that upper echelon, 9, 8, 10% right there. Let me tell you something right now. Don't hang your head. You played good. You played a great team that is capable of winning this championship right here. As a matter of fact, I want to thank Mr. Michael Heater for pulling this up for me.
What did the coach say to you at the end of the game?
Yeah, and one of their coaches said, look, that's the hardest we've been hit in 2 years. That's what their coach told me. And he said, I know what the scoreboard says, but he said, y'all guys are champions, and really, y'all should have won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that close.
Fighting bad calls from the ref didn't help.
No, and you're exactly right, and Mitchell alluded to that. So the way it sets up now, it's Bowles and Cocoa at Bowles, and then this is going to be Lakewood and Booker T. I think Booker T's got to go to Lakewood. So Booker T's got to go to Lakewood. Booker T was the number 1 team in Class 4A for a while. I'm thinking it's probably Lakewood or Bowles now. So that's 4 good teams right there. 2 of those teams is going to be battling out for a Class 4A championship. And let me tell you this, if it goes on to be Bowles, Bradford can even put their head up more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, hey, you played the eventual state champ that close.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the key to this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you not say that Bowles is hosting the next game?
They are hosting.
Yeah. So when you've got a team that good and a referee crew in your pocket, then I wouldn't be surprised to see a victory come out of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
In those other two schools that we played before Bowles, I mean, we were on the road.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
it's very hard to win while you're on the road.
It really is. But this team feels comfortable in doing that because do you know what? Let's go back even to the regular season. We played 6 games on the road in a row. We were gone 6 weeks away from our stadium. And you know what? Besides this game, we went 5-2 in those games. That's pretty good. We were 5-1 when we went up there to play Bowles. And I tell you, I knew our defense was going to be good. I didn't know they was going to be that darn good. And if we could have stopped number 8 at all, Mr. Mr. Frew killed us, man. He had about 160 yards rushing. And he was just, I talked to a couple of these boys come to the house because Autumn knows some of these boys, and a girl named Ariana that we've taken in is kin actually to Malik Hankerson's her brother. And Malik's been to the house, and I was talking to them, and he said, that is one of the slipperiest and quickest running backs we've ever played. We could not grab him. He told me, we had him, just couldn't hang on to him. But if it wasn't for that kid right there, I think that's a different story. And who knows if we recover that kick, that first kick right there, what would have happened? Because, like I said, they went down and scored off of that, and it was already 7-0, and it sort of set the tone for the game. Right. So, but congratulations to our Bradford Tornadoes. I think they did an outstanding job. Mike, you want to say anything about these guys? You watched them in person. You've been to most of the games. You listen to the games. You tell me what's the name.
Yeah, I was impressed with the entire team effort. Defense was amazing, really was, and I'm impressed with what's coming down the pipe. I think that they've got a fire underneath them.
Yep.
I think there's going to be some. Revenge is not the word I look for, but I think that
I think so.
I think that passion though is there, and I think that they can build off of this. I think what you're going to see in the off season that they have a reason to push the conditioning. They have a reason to push for skill improvement.
Yeah.
They have a reason to go into the season next year with that excitement, that enthusiasm that's going to drive them. And I really believe is going to put us even better than we were this year.
I think so.
One of the things I like to see some of these football players do, which most of them already do participate in track and field.
Yes.
But all those guys who are linemen and defensive linemen, I like to see them out there throwing the discus and the shot put.
Yeah.
And staying in shape.
Most of them are on the weightlifting team too,
Right.
and I know that sort of corresponds just a little bit with track.
Yeah.
But if they could get through with that and go out there and participate in track, that would be great. But Michael right there summed it up. Revenge is bittersweet. And I know these guys are looking forward to next year. I already hear them talking. I know we're going to lose several guys there. Most of that offensive line is going to be gone except one guy. So we got to replace the offensive line, but we've got some great JV players coming up. We've got the middle school that's coming up as well. We have most of the offensive line. Most of the offensive line we're losing today. We got one tackle coming back. The receivers are coming back, Balfour and Lavelle. The outside guys are coming back. Our quarterback's coming back. Pedro Carter was a junior. Eric Smith was a junior, so he'll be back. But we do have a great nucleus of other players that will be back as well. So I think on the whole team, I think there was 10 seniors or 11 seniors. And I want to say there was like 16 juniors or something like that, and then some sophomores, and then a couple of freshmen that made the team. So, So we'll have a good leg up. I worry about the offensive line though, and that defense. We're going to lose Malik Hankerson and some of those boys, but I think we got players that can fill in there.
And we got to find someone who can kick field goals.
Yeah, and I think we may have found him. If you can talk to him.
I don't know. I don't even know how far he can kick a football. But
I can tell you what, I'll go out there and I'll help. Hey, man, we'll get a bunch of footballs and I'll go out there and we'll all go out there and help you one afternoon if we can find us a field goal kicker. Because I tell you.
And usually field goal kickers are not that tall.
That makes a difference. You can see it with the Bowles kid. That kid was popping them right through that, man. There was no problem. They were straight down the center. I know they were some shorter field goals, but we was watching them in warm-ups. He was kicking them from the 40 and kicking them straight down the middle.
That reminds me of a guy I went to school with, Quentin Brown. He's from here, and we were seniors together over at Bradford High. And he was the field goal kicker. Do you know Quentin Brown?
Who?
Quentin Brown. He was sick. Quentin's probably was about 6'2", or is 6'2", and he probably weighed about, at that time, probably 250, 260, and he was our field goal kicker. And during warm-ups, he always be setting the football on the 50-yard line
and drilling it.
And drilling them through.
Isn't that crazy? Not even holding it. He just set it there and just drill it through.
I think he ended up going to Mississippi Valley State is where he went to school at.
Okay. All right. So,
we need to find another Quentin Brown.
Yes, we do. I think that's your son. Jeffrey Goins, he said it was amazing how many Bradford fans was at the game. I was really amazed.
It was impressive.
Oh, it was impressive.
They were loud, too.
And they were loud. And I want to say, Dave, y'all were sitting on the other side. I know you came over and went into the press box. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the nicest press boxes I've ever been in. In my 4 years of doing this, let me tell you what, that was just like looking at a college game, looking down on it from inside there. We had that whole press box area. Oh, my God, it was deep and wide. It was a really nice press box.
They got money.
They got money.
Yeah, man.
But did you see any of our fans sitting on their side because ours was full? Did you see any of that money?
I saw a couple, but not really. I think
Okay, most of them fit over there.
Everybody was on the other side like that. I was up on top of the press box doing the play-by-play with Better Than Snopes, and we actually commented back and forth. We were like, from our angle, we were not only able to see everything going on and all the littering that was happening by the referees, but the crowd on the other side filled up the stadium. The band was playing like that one. It really, really was a.
It was a great football atmosphere. It was a great Friday night. It really was.
It was impressive. It was an impressive display of support by the Bradford fans.
It was.
And the one thing, if you don't know it, but Bowles, they recruit a lot of players. I mean, you have people from South Africa playing there. 3 of them.
3 of them.
You had a guy from Israel.
Yep. 2 guys from Israel, 2 guys from Hawaii. The Kenai kid was from Hawaii. It was just crazy as you look down their roster and see where they were from.
It's like a university.
It is a university.
It's like a small university.
Well, I tell you what, when we first showed up, Michael and him went with us, but when me and Kevin and Cliff showed up, because we got there a little bit early, they was already having a swim meet. I think Dave and them seen that part of it. They were having a swim meet while this football game was going on now. they also was practicing track. Remember?
Yeah.
Track and field. They was practicing on that side. So not only do they have football going on, they've got all these other things going on.
Right.
And then when the football game started, I noticed how they swarmed over like bees. And they were all there.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like a little university there, and sometimes I think that's unfair for regular public schools having to play a team like that can recruit their players from anywhere in the United States and other countries to play there.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's a disadvantage for public schools because, we don't have the luxury of doing that.
Yeah,
No, we
but
Public school,
no. What I was going to say was that instead of looking at that as a negative, I like to think that's a positive, because when you look at the caliber of players that Bowles is going out and seeking and
Right.
recruiting and bringing in,
And our guys are just as good.
and oh yeah, absolutely, if not better.
Right.
I thought they were better.
I believe I think Bowles' success is a product of recruiting.
Right.
I'd like to think that Bradford's success is a product of a family environment of coaching and mentoring.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's a very good point right there. So, congratulations, Tornadoes. I tell you, it was a great season. Look forward to next year.
Yeah.
And
I think those same refs that officiated the Bowls,
officiated the Dallas game.
yeah, I think they officiated the Dallas game.
Well, I can tell you
Tripping
this.
calls on the offensive line that didn't happen.
All right. Some phantom calls is what we like to call it. Let's get into some college football. All right. Here's the college football playoff for this week. And really, guys, these polls don't matter, to be honest with you. All that does is just gives you a guide of where you think you'll be. All you want to be is in that top four. The top four is going to the college football playoffs to play for a national title. So it doesn't matter which order. It's just the matchups, really. So this week, Dave, I'm going to give it to you. Congratulations. Your Ohio State Buckeyes are number one in this week's college football playoff poll.
them worthless nuts.
Them worthless nuts, as old Gordon would say. That's exactly right. They're number one. Of course, their victory over Penn State probably helped that out right there. LSU is two. They didn't look so impressive against Arkansas, but you know what? Hey, a win's a win, and they're still undefeated, and they're still LSU.
Right.
So and they've got to win over Bama. Number three, and man, and Kevin, I love you, but man, I'm not so sure Georgia's the fourth best team in the country. I don't know. I just asked a question. The best one-loss team in the country. Mike, I'm gonna go to you. You tell me who you think your best one, and if it's Georgia, tell me why you think it is.
No.
Okay. Let me finish the poll right here, but then I'll give you. Okay, Alabama's fifth and Utah's sixth.
Right.
You know, Oregon took a dive.
Yeah.
So they're not there.
Yeah, that's the way the duck crumbles.
Yep, and then I think it's Baylor, Oklahoma, or Oklahoma, Baylor.
Oklahoma, Baylor.
Yeah. So.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
but Auburn is a one-loss team.
No, Auburn's got a couple.
They got a couple.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. Because remember, they lost to Georgia and they lost
That's
to
right,
LSU.
That's right. They lost to LSU.
But they've got two good quality losses.
That is. That's,
Yeah. And a good quality win over Oregon. Even though Oregon lost, they had remember at the first of the year, they had a good quality win against Oregon.
Clemson, because part of would like to go with LSU.
Well, I'm going to ask you about the one-loss teams.
Okay,
we know these are undefeated. So I want to know the best one-loss team that is still left out there. Because you know who the best two-loss team is, right? And I'll tell you right now,
Florida.
hands down. How'd you know I was going to say that? They're the first one ranked right there. I think they're 9 or 10, aren't they, in that poll now? What are they?
Now in the AP poll, they've got them 8th.
Okay. But I want the college football playoff poll. Because that's the one that matters, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that's
couldn't
how
bring
everybody's
that
going to
one
get their Yeah, I think Mike had brought. But anyway,
I gotta go.
I know who
I know you're gonna say. Can I go ahead and write it down?
Yeah, write it down.
Alabama?
Yes, Alabama.
All right, and I know why. Yes, they play in the SEC.
Yeah.
They lost to LSU by 5 points, 45-40. I know it was at home, But they did lose to the number 2 team in this week's poll, but they have been the number 1 team.
Yeah.
Now, do you think they're still as good, Mike, without Tua?
No. Absolutely not.
Right.
No.
Right.
No, they're a solid B+ team. I think on the 1-loss scale, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're still good because the entire body of work.
Right.
But without their star, it is just they won't be able to
I agree.
And I just don't see. Now, I think that they will continue to do well. Mm-hmm. They will not be in the championship.
So they won't be one of the 4.
No.
You think they're going to be left out?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Dave, best win-loss team in the country.
I'm going to have to go with Clemson.
Clemson's undefeated. So let's go with Georgia, Alabama, Utah, Oklahoma, Baylor.
Oklahoma.
You like Oklahoma?
Really?
Yeah. And I know why you said that. They're going to play Oklahoma State this week. They're ranked. Bedlam. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But their loss was bad, too. They lost to Iowa State, didn't they? Yeah, they lost to Iowa State. So, anyway, no, that's a good pick. I don't mind. Okay.
Well, since Tua is not playing right now, I think Alabama's going in a little bit of a struggle mode, even though they won their last game. I'm going to go with the Utah Utes because I think they're pretty well balanced. They can score a lot of points in a hurry. They kind of play like Oregon. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to go with them.
You're going to go with Utah. Okay. You know what? I'm going to agree with you. I like Utah, too.
They're very balanced.
And I'm going to tell you why I like Utah. All right. Let me give you some scenarios. Of course, all these college predictors, right, love scenarios. So all you viewers that are still on, I'm going to give you a scenario. Dave, you're going to hate me for this one. The Gators were 11th in the CFP poll, by the way. Okay. They're the best 2-loss team in the I think in the country. There's no doubt about it. They got the 2 best losses. I know that. So, what if Michigan beats Ohio State?
Oh, I hate you for that.
I know, because I just probably jinxed you. Okay, what happens if Michigan beats Ohio State? Mike would love to see that because Michigan's a 2-loss team. So, Michigan beats OSU.
I said it from the beginning.
Dave, I know you're going to hate me for this one. Let's say LSU doesn't stumble against Texas A&M this week. They play Texas A&M. Georgia got them. But let's say they stumble against Georgia in the SEC championship game. Okay? That means 1 loss and 1 loss Georgia, right? Yeah. Clemson's going to run the table. There's nobody there that can beat them, really, to be honest with you. Whoever wins that Coastal Division, whether it's Virginia Tech, Virginia's not going to be. I mean, that's not going to matter. Clemson's there. All right? Let's say Utah doesn't stumble and they beat Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game, okay? Which could happen. So that'd be Utah up there. And let's just say for craps and giggles, Oklahoma beats Baylor, like y'all just said. And David thinks with you, he thinks Oklahoma is the best 1-loss team. So if Oklahoma beats Baylor, Baylor will have 2 losses that are out. Yep. So that puts Oklahoma up there with 1 loss. Now, Alabama, let's say they beat Auburn. Okay? So you have 1 loss LSU, 1 loss Georgia, 1 loss Alabama, 1 loss Ohio State, 1 loss Utah. Okay? But you've got 3 spots to fill out of those 7 teams. How are you going to do that? If chaos happens. Chaos has got to happen for that.
And it's very possible that
could happen. So Michael thinks that Michigan's going to beat Ohio State. They're playing at Michigan.
I said at the beginning of the season they were the sleeper team. Everybody underestimated them. I still think
David says that will never happen.
No, I think if that scenario happens, I really look for Florida and Michigan being both 9-2. I look for them to move in the number 6 and number 7 spot.
But won't get into the playoffs.
When those teams don't want to get in the playoffs.
But they'll get a nice bowl. They're going to get a
very nice bowl.
Yes, they are.
If the scenario works out, who will be in the playoffs?
Well, Clemson will probably move to the 1 spot if
Bama
that
will
happens.
get in if they win.
And that's what I'm saying. Because of the name brand, I think Bama slips in. I think LSU or Georgia, one of them gets in. And if Georgia beats LSU, Georgia will probably go into the 2 spot or the 3 spot.
Georgia will fall
So,
if they lose.
No, I'm talking if they beat them. If they beat LSU.
They win.
Yeah.
If they win.
Yeah.
Now, LSU's only got 1 loss, and that would be a good quality loss. So where do you put LSU? So you could have 2 SEC teams in there and leave out a Big 12 champion or a Pac-12 champion. That's why I say that this playoff needs to be formatted to 8 teams. I think eventually it needs to go to 8 teams, and you can play it out. You can play 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. You can play it out 2 or 3 weeks and be done with it.
I don't know how y'all feel about it, but you got all these divisions of your Division I schools. Why don't we just take the winners out of each one of them and play playoff games like we do in the NFL? Because
this is what I hear sports writers say. Okay, give you the perfect scenario. Clemson plays Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's got 3 losses, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, they're 9-3 playing 12-0 Clemson. Let's say Virginia Tech beats Clemson. Do they have the right to go to the playoffs? They're a champion of their league. They got 3 losses. You've got teams out there with still 0-1 loss.
In the NFL, you have
that. I get it, but that's not the way. I get it. I fully agree. I think that every conference champion should be into the playoffs. I mean, you got what? What is it? 5 major divisions.
Right.
So you got the ACC, the SEC, the Pac-12, the Big 12, and the Big 10. Yeah. The 5 champions should go, regardless of record. You made it there. You made it. And if you beat the dominant team that day, you should have a chance to go and play in the playoffs. But the only way it's going to happen is if you expand it to 8. So you got your 5 champions and then 3 at large. And you know what you can do then too? You can take the Mid-American conferences.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? With a Memphis or a Cincinnati or something like, or UCF, yeah. And you can put them right in there too. And that could be, if you want to call that one of your at-larges, and then you have 2 at-larges that you can put in there.
I know that'll make a lot of people mad, but it'll make also
it's going to make a lot of people mad because you're going to say, well, what if a 3-loss? Well, if you played better, hey, what if a 5-loss Bradford just beat Bowles at their place? Don't we deserve to go to the state? We're going to play Cocoa this Friday if we win, right? So, why doesn't that make it fair?
Well, I just think, I'm not just picking on the Cowboys because I like them, but look at Dallas right now. They're 6-5, and they're in the driver's seat for the NFC East. They went out a couple more games ahead of Philadelphia. They're going to the playoffs, and they will host the wild card.
Well, that's true.
So,
yeah. Anyway, Noah Gibson, I'm going to tell you what. That's going to be a cold day in HE double hockey sticks as that happens, because I'm going to tell you right now, he's telling me Georgia has to beat Georgia Tech first. Yeah, I get it. You got to play the game. I don't see Georgia Tech giving them much of anything. I know Georgia Tech played pretty good the other night. Man, Georgia's going to stomp them a mud hole in them. I'm going to tell you that right
Well,
there.
I'll tell you one thing. You will see a better Florida State team playing Florida.
Well, and I wanted to talk about that just a little bit because I know I'm in amongst of. I don't have my boy Byron with me to protect me here. I'm amongst a bunch of Florida Gator fans and a bunch of Florida Gator fans right in here too. And I will say this: I think Florida's the best. I'll say it when I say it. Florida's the best 2-loss team in the country. There's no doubt about it. And I think Florida State is playing better under Odell Haggins. Mm-hmm. I think the defense is coming to play. I think the offense is starting to play better. Looks like we found us a little quarterback, man. Y'all going to have to watch that kid, man. He's already ran a couple of long ones and stuff on people. So
you think he's going to be the coach?
I don't know if he's going to be the coach. I think what's going to determine is what happens in this Florida game. Win or lose, if it's close, which I think, and we'll get a prediction here. If Florida State hangs in there close, and I mean close, 10 points, I think he gets a job. They tried to offer it to him before, he didn't take it.
Right.
So,
I'm thinking it's going to be a 30-20.
Yeah. I know we got,
Cup game.
yeah, something like that. That's what I think too. I know we got a lot of rivalry games: Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Clemson, South Carolina, you name it, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I can go, man. There's a list of them right here. Florida, Florida State. Yeah.
Jeff Udi.
Yeah,
Louisiana Butterflies against the Dragons.
The Dragons of somebody.
Arizona.
Yeah. Notre Dame, Stanford, you name it, man. It's on here. Texas A&M, LSU, Baylor, Oklahoma. That was last week. That's Oklahoma State, which is Bedlam. So I'm going to go around the table since we got Florida State fans. Real quick before we close out the show. It's been a great show, by the way. If you have any topics you want to talk about, make sure you email us. Send it to our email. Michael, tell them our email address, please, sir.
On the spot 32091 at gmail.com. Again, on the spot, all one word, 32091 at gmail.com.
All right, there you go. So, or you can message any one of us. Y'all all know us here. It's Michael Heater, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. David Rodgers, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, Mr. Brian Bagwell in here, Mr. Austin Stevens right here, or Mr. John Probst. I would say email Roger, but I don't know if we'd ever get the message. But anyway, no, Roger give us a message. He'd be calling you. Hey, I got a message. But anyway, going around the room, 2 quick picks here. All right, we'll go 3. Michigan, Ohio State, okay, versus Ohio State. And I'll get you guys' pick, too, that's still on the line. We'll go Alabama, Auburn, and that's Alabama at Auburn. And then we'll go Florida, Florida State. Okay? How about that? Go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
So let's go Michigan, Ohio State
Okay.
first.
On 2 of the 3, I'm going to have to go against the heart. The heart wants, the brain says, you better think it out.
I was fixing to write Michigan.
You know what? I want Michigan to win in the worst way.
You're going to Ohio State.
I really do. But it's going to be Ohio State 41-22.
Ohio State. All right, he likes Ohio
Yeah,
State. That's Michael.
That's unfortunately,
Okay.
and as much as I really, Greg, if you're watching up in Detroit, I'm telling you, I'm sorry, brother. I'm rooting for you bad, but it's just not going to happen. Ohio State is just going to take the victory. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. The next one you got
the Iron Bowl. Yeah, Alabama at Iron Bowl.
Same deal, man. I'd love to see Auburn win,
I'll put
but it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be Alabama's gonna take it.
Alabama.
Alabama's gonna take this 35-21.
All right, and Florida State.
This one I feel good about because I just feel good
Florida.
about it.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be Florida, and it's going to be I think Trask is going to come in here relaxed. I think Trask has made the decision. He's going to come back next season. I think they're approaching this as a feel-good game. A lot of the stress is off of them now. They know what they're going to be doing. So I don't think it's going to be necessarily a big game. It's going to be a lot closer than what people think. But I'm going to give this one, it's going to be 24-17 Gators.
All right, Dave, Michigan, Ohio State.
Well, I know Michael Heater's calling Michigan a sleeper team.
Right, Michigan's playing good ball lately.
Yeah,
They're playing good ball.
I don't think they're going to.
That's at Michigan too, by the way.
I don't think they're going to wake up in time. Ohio State.
Okay, they're not going to wake up. All right.
Shake 'em
They're
out of
still
their
in their
dream.
sleep and a dream. Okay.
Yeah.
How about Alabama and Auburn? You want me to just go ahead and write Alabama down for you? Or do you like Auburn? You want me to just write Alabama down?
I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to go with Alabama too.
Alabama, all right. And Florida.
Go Gators.
Okay. Austin, tell me what you got down there. Who you like, Michigan or Ohio State?
Well, I'm going to have to go Ohio State.
Ohio State, all right. Alabama and Auburn.
Whew, this one's going to be a tough one. Looking at the analytics, I'm going to have to go Alabama on this one because Auburn is 7-3 and
Alabama with one loss.
yeah.
So you like that. All right. How about Florida State?
I'm going to have to go the Gators because the Gators have more wins and less loss than Florida State.
All right. Think it's going to be close or you think it's going to be a big victory?
This one's going to be like a little matchup between the Florida Gators and Georgia Bulldogs, like that. But it's
So you think it's going to be sort of close like that a little bit?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. Charles McKinney said 45-13 Gators. Ooh, I don't know about that one.
That's going to be questionable.
David Adams says Ohio State 38-20. Auburn. He says Auburn's going to upset Alabama 27-24. Wow.
There could be a possibility of that.
Let me see, and it says more. I can't see more. Dadgummit. Okay. Noah Gibson, you're out there. Noah Gibson says FSU 21, Gators 7. All right. Go ahead. Dream on. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm going to surprise everybody.
All right.
Michigan gets the win.
Woo! Really?
17-10.
Ooh.
I think the weather's going to be a factor.
Yeah, it is going to be a factor. It's going to be rainy and snowy up there, isn't it, Austin? Saturday in Ann Arbor, in Michigan? In Ann Arbor, Michigan?
Pretty sure yes.
Okay. All right. Ooh, he likes Michigan on this deal. Okay. My friend David's going to love you. All right. Go ahead, Mitchell.
Okay. Auburn and Alabama.
Uh-huh.
Alabama squeaks out 24-21.
Kind of squeaky. You're talking like that 13.
They're just going to get a little field goal to win it.
I'm just going to write you down for Florida. I already know that.
Florida's 30-20.
30-20. Did somebody else just say that? My money's on Auburn. Noah says my money's on Auburn. Dwight Allen says Michigan, Bama, and the Gators. He likes Michigan too. Okay.
Sorry, Dave.
Okay.
man.
All right.
Just playing the weather.
All right. So
Ohio's not far from Michigan.
No.
So I think
The ball's going to be wet and nasty.
I think there's 3 top teams in the country, and I think y'all will all agree, and I think they're ranked right where they need to be. Ohio State, LSU, and Clemson. The 4th team is going to be a one-loss team. We'll just have to see who that is. In saying that, I like the Justin Fields kids. I think he's playing cool, calm, and collective. Michigan has been playing a lot better, like Michael said. I think their defense is stepping up. Yeah. I think it's going to be very close. I don't think this is going to be one of them blowout games like it usually has been the last couple of years. I like Ohio State to win this 27-21. 27-21. Alabama at Auburn. I remember in 2013 where there was a kick 6. Remember that? Remember when the boy kicked the field goal and that boy, Chris Davis, returned it 100 yards for a touchdown? Mm-hmm. They were playing back in Auburn. I think the quarterback for Alabama is doing a great job right now. Scott, what's his name? Golly, I can't think of it now. What's his name? What's that quarterback? What's that kid's name for Alabama that's quarterbacking them now? David, what's his name? If you can tell me. I just forgot his name. But anyway, I think. Let's see. Weather will be a factor. Both teams are okay. David likes Florida 38-17. But anyway, the Alabama quarterback's doing a pretty decent job. He hadn't really played anybody right now. Tua's out. I think I know Auburn played Georgia tough. They played LSU tough. I tell you, man, I look for an upset special right here. I really do. Alabama is susceptible for it. I don't know if Saban will go for it. But in saying that, I'm going to take Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Alabama. I'm gonna say I don't even think it's gonna be that high scoring, really, to be honest. I think 24-20 Bama. Florida State. Okay. So Mac Jones. Mac Jones is our quarterback. Yes. Florida State, man. I hate to do this. Golly, man, I really hate to do this, but I picked up said it against them before.
Come on.
Yeah, I want y'all to come to the dark side. I want the dark side to win. Don't get me wrong. What'd you say? Reality sets in on your Michigan pick? Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Okay.
The heart won it.
So the reality sets in here. Florida's the better team. There's no doubt about it. I think that they're playing in the swamp.
It's going to be loud.
I think Florida State is playing better under the new coach. I like Florida to win the game, but close. As y'all said it. You said 30-20?
Yep.
I even like it closer than that. I like it Florida 28-24.
Ooh, that's kind of close.
I like it Florida, and I think what's going to happen is I think Florida State will keep Florida on their heels, but Florida does enough in the fourth quarter to get that go-ahead score, and then they shut us down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be something like that, but Florida probably win the game 28-24. So that's what
I'm excited.
The one thing about Florida, they know they're not going to be able to get in.
No,
So
but they're playing for a great bowl game.
They're going to run their start. They're going to play their starters the whole entire time.
They're playing for the Orange Bowl, right? They're going to play for the Orange Bowl because they can match up against Notre Dame if that happens. If Notre Dame keeps winning out.
I remember one time we played Notre Dame in a Sugar Bowl, and it didn't turn out.
Yeah, it didn't turn out well, did it?
You know who that was?
Yes, yeah, I know who that was too.
Ironhead.
Yeah, Hayward. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but anyway, that's what I like. Let me see any more comments here. Florida, he likes Florida. Charles McLean, 48-9. Joel, thank you for coming on. Connie says Gators 24-21 over FSU. Tua, I am changing my pick to Auburn. Charles McKinney said Tua out. I'm changing my pick to Auburn. Care for a little side action on that Iron Bowl. David, are you talking to me or you? Oh, he's replying to McKinney. Tua's done playing for Alabama. Yep, he sure is. Dark side. Yep. No, the dark side's us. Y'all are the sunshine side.
Now, one thing I can't wait, it doesn't reflect on Florida State, or Alabama.
Right.
But I cannot wait to 2020 to see how good UCF is going to be with their starting quarterback coming back.
Yeah, I heard that news today, as a matter of fact. I heard he is coming back. Yep, so that kid has made a pretty good recovery. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm excited to see that, too. We'll see. So they faltered off here a little bit, and if they'd have had that kid, you're talking about McKenzie?
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, guys, it's been a great show. Thank you for joining us. By the way, who's your NFL team? It doesn't matter. They suck. How about yours? Cincinnati, they suck. Who's yours? Dallas, they really sucked the other night.
Yeah, they got.
How about you there, Austin?
No.
No, I know who your team is. Is it the Dolphins? They suck.
No, that ain't mine.
Well, I'm going to tell you my
Austin.
team so y'all can say it to me. You ready? Yeah. The Jaguars.
They suck.
Austin, I know what Miami's doing. They're doing it for a reason so they can get some draft picks.
Sure.
And I really do believe that some NFL teams do throw games so they can get those good picks. To help their team out.
They're getting paid
regardless.
Yeah.
As far as the Dallas Cowboys, I thought they played New England
I thought they played them tough.
well. Mm-hmm. Dallas's defense is real.
It is. How many times did they sack Brady? Just a couple?
3 or 4 times.
Really? Yeah, I know he didn't have good numbers.
Which is really good.
Well, it really is good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk a little. We didn't get a chance to talk. I know college football's coming to close. Isn't that hard to believe? So is high school football's coming to a close. We are going to have some football in the spring as the XFL starts up. I hope it ain't that garbage that we seen several years ago. I hope Vince McMahon has learned his lesson and turns this into a real football league. You know what I mean? So, but we have college basketball we can talk about. We've got pro basketball, high school basketball. We've got things going on there with Bradford. So, absolutely. So, So you'll take Auburn? Okay. I'll take Bama on that one. Sure, absolutely. So he wants Auburn. So I was going to pick Auburn in an upset, but I'll take Bama.
I was really close to picking Auburn.
Me too. I was too, man.
I know how good the Jones kid has been playing, and I really think it's going to come down to a field goal. It's going to be
or a late turnover or something like that.
What did I say it was?
No. You said, I forgot to write that one down.
17-10?
10, yeah, I think that's what you said. Yeah,
17-10.
17-10, Bama.
Yeah.
All right. So, final thoughts, Michael Heater.
Hey, just excited about the upcoming season. Great job by the Sheriff's Office on the work that they're doing here. Great job to Mitchell. We continue to see a lot of progress, but not just on the road safety, but on the work that you're doing with the county and the fire departments and everything like that one. Again, reminder for those of you that know anyone or has been certified as a firefighter, again, Thursday, December 12th, 6 p.m. at the Emergency Operations Center at the Sheriff's Office. Love to have you out here. We got some major changes coming down the pipe here. Big things coming down the line for Theresa. staffing the station with the firefighters and everything like that one. We'd love to have you turn out for it.
All right, Dave, final thoughts?
I just want to say, everybody have a safe and great Thanksgiving weekend, and enjoy football and Turkey Day.
I gotcha. All right, Austin, anything? Final thoughts? Any kind of weather or anything, or any kind of wishes to anybody?
I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving and stuff like that. It will be a little bit warm. It'll be on the warm side. So,
Okay.
Try to
What are we looking at, Austin, by the way?
Upper 70s to near 80. The forecast will be posted whenever on the spot will post their news updates in the morning.
Right.
Austin's Weather should comment behind or under the post with your latest forecast.
So I can pretty much almost get in the pool.
You can almost get in your boxers.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
that'd be great.
Don't do that. And eat turkey, too? Oh, my goodness. Mitchell, final thoughts, brother.
I just wish everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Spend time with your families. Embrace one another. Love one another. And also thank you, Michael, for the kind comments. I do the things that I do because I want to keep our citizens safe, and all those that work for the fire department, or sheriff's office. Think of them, because a lot of them are going to be working while you're sitting down having dinner.
Yeah.
They're going to be working. The people
Very
in
own is going to be
911
working.
center.
Yeah.
Nine in a row.
So think of them guys, and I'll tell you, Michael, we are very thankful
Yeah.
for
Absolutely.
what y'all do in a 911 call center, dispatching the fire, EMS, and the sheriff's office. And y'all also work with the police department too. Y'all help dispatch with
Yep.
that. So thank you for everything that you do.
Absolutely. As we wrap up our show tonight, we want to absolutely thank Sheriff Gordon Smith and the entire Bradford County Sheriff's Office team for their hospitality. Also, props to our marketing and advertising guru, Mr. John Snopes Probst, who couldn't be with us tonight. He's with his lovely mother. Happy birthday, by the way, Mom Probst.
Happy birthday.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. For the Quick and Dirty, as well as Roger Cruz and Austin Stevens for their sports and weather updates. Just a final thought for me. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Please be safe, whatever you're doing. Remember, we got Black Friday coming up. Please be safe. If you're going out shopping, doing anything like that, just make sure you take your safety mind with you, safety precautions in everything that you do. And please, if somebody wants an item in a store, just let them have it. Man, it ain't worth fighting over. Go up there and get you a rain check and make sure that you stay out of a fight or anything like that. There ain't a TV on, Mitchell, there ain't a TV on God's green earth that's worth fighting over. I'll just get me another one.
No, you can get it on Monday, on
Cyber
Cyber
Monday.
So
And that's exactly right.
it ain't worth dying over. Trust me.
No, it's not.
Not worth going to jail.
No, it isn't. No. And
Because there ain't very much good TV to watch
No.
when you're in jail.
no, there isn't. So, also, I want to let everybody know there will be a show on Saturday. Is it going to be from here, guys? Are we doing it from here at the EOC? I believe so, right?
I believe so.
We'll be doing it right here from our place, right here at the EOC. So join us Saturday at 7 o'clock. I'll be talking a lot of college football for sure. All rivalry weekend coming up. Be talking pro sports. We'll be talking some quick and dirty. We'll be talking some local news. We'll be talking some national news. So, guys, come on in. Come on in, guys. Come on in and get in here real quick. And let's wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. This is just part of the crew. Again, Byron Bagwell's on vacation. Mr. John Probst is with his mom and dad. We've also got Roger the Tornado Cruz on special assignment. So this is the crew right here. We've got Mr. Dave Holland behind us right here. Wave Dave. Mr. Michael Heater. Wave everybody. Mr. Austin Stevens right beside us right here. Mr. Mitchell Gunner and myself. We want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Please be safe of what you're doing. God bless you guys. We love each and every one of you. Please stay tuned to us next Saturday, or this coming up Saturday, as we'll have another on the spot. God bless you guys. Y'all have a great night and have a great weekend. Goodbye, guys. Love each and every one of you. Thank you.